And welcome back to Mississippi Insight. We're joined again by our panel. We have Councilman Aaron Banks and Sheriff Brian Bailey with the Rankin County, and of course WJTV 12's Gerald Harris.
And Councilman Banks, you just received some new information. Could you share that with us? And I think it's pretty pressing.
Yeah. Mississippi Crime Lab, they did a report basically talk about the state of Mississippi having, more murders per capita. We're somewhere around 400 murders within the state, but Jackson is responsible to 20 to 25%. That's almost like 1 out of every 4.5. And so we really have to, do all we can to invest, in law enforcement. As I always say, if you see something, you got to say something. And it's going to be very important that we do all we can. And not only are agencies working with each other, but again, we got to make sure that we are having a good deterrence. The only way you reduce crime, is by having a deterrence. The way you have a deterrence is visibility, because crime exists because there are opportunities that are out there. And, we're losing a lot of good men and women, with JPD, people that have been around for a long time, and we're losing them to neighboring cities, we're losing them, and we have to do a better job at having a very good pro-police atmosphere.
And a quick follow-up question, do you still have confidence in the police chief here in Jackson, Chief James Davis?
I do have confidence. I'm always have confidence in anyone that's in law enforcement. Do I think that there's some areas where there's room for improvement? But I think that any chief or any law enforcement professional needs to support, whether it's on the county level, they need to support the supervisors. And when we're talking about a municipality, they need the support of that administration. And let the chief be the chief. Chiefs don't do a good job being micromanaged by politicians. Let him be the chief and give him the authority to do. And it'll just be interesting to see that if he really had that scope of authority to be, the chief that I know he could be, what kind of change we would see.
Sheriff, when we talk about fighting crime, this summer, we know when summertime comes around, we tend to see more crime spike up when the kids are out of school and everything else was happening. But what do you think are some of the solutions to deal with that? We've had recently a lot of drive-by shootings and innocent people being injured or killed. What can we do to deal with those issues?
The councilman brought up a good point about the parents and everything. And that's I truly believe one of the major issues today with young people is a lack of a strong male father figure in their life, or a leader in their life, and we just don't have it like we did when we were all younger. And based on what I've been doing with my criminal justice program, my inmate trustee program in the jail, you have to find a substitute for that father figure, for that leader. And one thing we have an abundance of that we don't take advantage of in Mississippi is churches. You get to put the government in charge of something, and something the councilman said too, is that everybody looks at police officers, sheriffs, and other stuff. You do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do this wrong. They want to nitpick you to death. When look, I'm a human being. I'm going to sin. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make a mistake every day. I promise you, I'm not going to make a right decision every day. I'm going to regret something that I did. But I try to learn from those mistakes, just like these people out on the street. And that's why I really believe we need to invest more in our first-time nonviolent offenders. But, we really need to start leaning on our churches, because that's the only asset that we have that can truly be everywhere, not only in the Jackson area, but all across the state. We have good people who actually really want to help. We send missionaries all over the world and everything. We need missionaries right here in Rankin and Hinds County.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. And when we come back, we are joined by Vicksburg Mayor George Flax.